Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 37 for October 21st, 2012. My name's Tony and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters Mark and Jason.
Mark's, yeah, I don't know.
It's usually you. It's
yeah,
usually,
I know.
You're like, "Hi guys," and I was gonna be like, "Welcome back, Mark."
Yeah.
But no, you fucked it up.
I know. I'm also tired today as well.
37 in a row.
What's going on, Mark? I feel like I haven't casted with you in like a month, even though it's been like 2 weeks.
Well, you didn't do Blacklist.
You missed the Blacklist, and you missed last week.
Yeah.
Slacker.
And
it's only been 1 week.
And then he missed the Blacklist before that. So
I think it's because he has no interest in the horror movie shit.
Okay.
You're coming for the next one, though, right?
Yeah, I'll probably get more into those.
Yeah,
just also timing as well.
Yeah, I know we do those midweek. It's kind of hard to get everybody together.
at like midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, midnight. Well, the first one was a Thursday. We have to be up at like 9 a.m. So, but yeah, eventually I'll be on.
How about you, Jace? How's your week been going?
Not bad. We just saw you like 2 days ago.
I know. Me and Jason have been seeing way too much of each other.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been texting me.
I'm pretty sure he smells like sausage. I don't know where it's coming from.
That is not me.
It smells like sausage in here.
It is not me. It's
And
just
You're the only Italian in the
Jason's
room.
house smells like
It
sausage.
just wafts in like the whole scent of it every once in a while, and it's I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that that's a Pokemon that he's fighting right now.
I'm pretty sure it is. We have a live stream from Angry Andy from where is he today?
Berlin.
Berlin. Oh, okay, very nice. He's off in Berlin. He's live streaming some Resident Evil 6, and he's got some Pokemon.
It's literally like a big fucking Pokemon. What's the big rock Pokemon?
Like a Geodude.
No, from first gen. First gen. You know who I'm talking about?
Graveler.
There you go.
Graveler.
Yeah,
it's like a
it's
Graveler
totally
he's
him.
fighting. And I don't know, he just stopped a charging Graveler.
By kneeing it in the face.
By knee in the face. If Pokemon was legal, that's what I would use to kill Graveler.
Watch out, you're going to have PETA on your ass.
They already tried to blow me up when I was working a circus one time, so,
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell happened then?
At the Allstate Arena, they're like, the circus will save the animals by blowing them all into pieces.
And you worked there?
Yeah, it was my first job.
Did you totally juggle?
No.
God damn it.
Were you just like concessions or whatever?
Yeah, it was concessions.
Did you juggle popcorn?
No. I stacked it.
No.
You can go like 3 to 4 rows high on popcorn.
Oh.
That place smells up the entire fucking suburb of Rosemont.
Did you stick your face in cotton candy?
Oh no!
Like in the
I never
machine.
actually. Isn't there like a blade or something?
That thing's dangerous. Dude.
Yeah,
It's got that like that fucking.
There is something that like flies around right in the middle. Yeah. It's not just instant fun.
It could be.
There's danger then fun.
Yeah, as it always should be.
So what's going on this week? Should we hop into some news? Some sexy stories, perhaps?
Well, if you want to do what I was playing this week.
You forgot about that, huh?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I was just seeing if I knew.
I was just testing you guys.
He's just trying to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah,
We're like, no,
trying to-
fuck that.
So what'd you guys play this week?
I picked up the Kickstarter game Faster Than Light. I also got back into some trials. They had the Bring the Pain come out like a week or two ago. I finally bought that. Today I actually did Hitman Code 47 because I'm kind of getting ramped up for that. It's the very first one. And some Sleeping Dogs I played for like a half an hour before I came here.
How'd you like Sleeping Dogs?
I like it. It's fun. It's kind of a different open world type game.
Yeah, I heard it's like a shitty try at being Saints Row.
Not ridiculous like that.
Plus Asian-y.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of like a Batman with a fight system with like a Grand Theft Auto. Like they're not trying to be ridiculous.
I didn't mean like ridiculous.
No,
I meant
it's
just,
Yeah, it still actually is fun.
You know what was awesome about Sleeping Dogs? The fact that he pulls a motorcycle helmet out of his ass.
Yeah, every time when he gets onto his bike,
Safety first.
just like that.
Nice.
It's pretty impressive. I don't know where he keeps it.
How about yourself, good sir? What'd you play this
Take
week?
a wild fucking guess what I've been playing this week.
Nothing.
It's only one game.
Borderlands again?
Yeah. Finally started my Mechromancer.
I like
level
it.
5.
I finally downloaded all of the stuff and the new map or new DLC.
I did not get the DLC yet.
I got the season pass. So I was like, I'm gonna log back on just to download everything, and I haven't got to play it yet.
Yeah, I'm enjoying her. She's pretty cool. I literally got to call out Death Trap once, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
What is that's the special ability?
Yeah.
Did you just lay down a trap?
No, it's a giant black robot that goes and beats the shit out of everything.
I want it.
Yeah, and you can
I want 5 of them.
different skill trees and whatnot, but
5 giant black robots of death.
Yes.
That should be my character name.
awesome. He's going to change his gamer tag.
It's the Glove of Doom from Ratchet and Clank.
Literally all I've played so far this week was I was catching up on Borderlands, finished up a bunch of side missions before I moved on.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Fucking A. As for myself, I did just a little bit of Borderlands too, but that was early in the week. I'm kind of... Because then James Bond came out on Monday night. I got it.
With outstanding reviews, I hear.
Yes. We're going to get into that in great detail. I already tore through that whole game. We'll talk about that a bit later.
There was sarcasm in my voice.
I know, we know.
For those
who
don't know me.
But we will be...
Yes.
We will be...
We have good news
ripping
for
that
us.
up later.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about it. And besides that, what else did I fucking do? Oh, I played some drunken Gears of War 3 Horde mode.
Did you die a lot?
No, we did okay. We put it on really easy, though, because
Okay.
we were all fucking wasted.
I have to say, Beast mode is far better
Then Horde.
than Horde during a drunken
Oh,
anything.
okay.
Beast mode, for some reason, is just you have the one friend who's way far gone playing the ticker still when you're on like the 4th tier, and he's just running and blowing stuff up because he can't even.
Doesn't get that.
It's more you see who's more far gone, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah, we were playing on easy or normal or something because we were like, there's no way we're going to be able to
I
comprehend this
understand
on
that.
a hard setting. But yeah, we were having a fucking blast. It was like at 5 in the morning. We all left the bar. We're all like, all right, I'll see you on Xbox in fucking 15 minutes. And we all just kind of went our separate ways. It was a good time.
5 a.m. playing Gears. I don't get it. I mean, after
It's a
you
good time.
worked for like 12 hours, I just.
It's a good time. No, I didn't work that night.
Oh, really? Okay.
Fucking night.
Jason's sleeping with.
No, I'm awake.
Enthusiasm.
I'm awake. My eyes just
Are
hurt.
closed.
No, my eyes hurt.
I'm just resting
I'm
my
expecting the
eyes.
inside of my eyelids.
I'm pretty sure I got brake dust in my eyes today, so my eyes
Fun.
have been irritating me a bit.
Fun.
Yeah.
You should have black eyes, don't you?
Huh?
Nothing. Moving on, you want to get to some sexy stories?
I would love to get some sexy
All
stories.
right. They announced, I believe this was today or yesterday, PAX is actually going to come to Australia for the next at least 2 years. It's going to be July 19th and 21st.
So does it say third PAX show?
Yes.
Or is this? Or are they changing either PAX East or PAX West into
It's
PAX Australia?
going to be its own one.
So there's a third PAX now.
There's going to be a third PAX.
Nice.
I'm guessing there's going to have to be different developers there because like that's about the time the other PAXs are, or at least one of them.
When is it?
July 19th to 21st.
It's also like a month after E3.
I
which
know.
is fucking retarded.
I know, that's why I'm just like, it's...
But it is in Australia.
It is in Australia. Well, they'll ban all the games that are going there. Oh, wait, no, I forgot that got repealed. But, you know, it's Australia. They're getting something.
Yeah, take that,
Hey.
koalas.
I don't like Foster's beer. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's all right. Not a big
Giant
deal.
cans.
Huge fucking cans.
Yeah. I feel like I have to open it with a knife, though. I don't know why. It's just giant,
That's
like,
not
you
a
know,
knife.
like...
This is a knife.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the Crocodile Dundee, like 9-inch blade knife, just kind of
And then
thing.
you cut your lip when you're trying to drink it.
Hell yeah,
It's the
a
only
little
way to
bit of
have
blood
beer.
in that. Yeah, it's good. All right, next sexy news story: Internet Explorer is now on Xbox. They also removed Facebook and Twitter, and the only way to get to those is to go to Internet Explorer. So they're kind of making you. So first off, did anyone actually check out the new dashboard?
I didn't get mine yet.
I did.
They're rolling them out 3 million a day supposedly.
Oh, okay, actually.
But there's
Just
50
figured everyone
there's
will have them by now.
50 million Xbox Live accounts,
Something
so
like
it's
that.
going to take 2 weeks for everybody to get it. I didn't get mine yet.
Okay.
So I have no idea what it's like.
They added pinning, which is basically like, you know, like favoriting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I don't know, like it
keeps
things
on
more
there,
organized. Like it's gonna be like right under your recent, but you can keep, like I have just, you know, Netflix on there and then trials and whatever.
Can you put whatever you want on it?
Yep.
Finally.
Yeah.
So you don't have to navigate 20 pages
Oh,
to
no,
No.
you still do.
Well, no. Well, you have to add them, but literally when you're, because it's under the main page, under the
How many
open
things
tray,
can you pin?
I only have 4 on there right now. I'm assuming you can go as far as you want.
Oh, because I just want like
Yeah,
HBO,
literally.
Netflix,
Like when I turn on
That's
my
literally
Xbox,
what mine has. HBO, Netflix,
and
Hulu.
two or three of my...
that's what I did.
2 or 3 of my digital games that I actually like playing, so I don't have to go all the way to my digital library.
Yeah. Literally, all I do right now is I turn my Xbox on. I go down. I think it's 1, and I hit A, and then it opens up all the 4 things I probably want to play anyway. So yeah,
I've tried Internet Explorer. It sucks.
I didn't really care for it either.
Yeah,
but why would I be in my console?
I'm going to be honest. Anyway. And the first thing that I did was try to go to Pornhub. Just because I kind of wanted to see my friend's reaction to seeing, I was hoping that it would tell you what website I was on. And unfortunately, the page did not fully load.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed.
Maybe it's not.
YouPorn will be on it, though. There was an article online about 2 weeks ago about
Xbox will probably end up blocking it.
Yeah.
Do you specifically have to, configure your website to be seen on Xbox now?
I don't know. There's an option for display as mobile. So I'm not 100% sure.
It might just be taking the mobile ones, but literally, I would assume that because even Pornhub has its own mobile version as well. So it's like,
how do you know that?
Don't worry about it. But literally, it's one of those things where it should just be regular internet. You know, you shouldn't have to worry about if that site's actually going to load. That's why I'm not exactly sure if it's fully functional yet. Mm-hmm. But it also, there's a chance that it's because the new HTML, the websites you're going to aren't actually supported by HTML5.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility.
It's only literally. I mean, there was no pictures, no nothing, just a little side. And I'm not talking about. Obviously, I went to a pornographic website, but literally all the menus were the only thing that showed up, and so you couldn't do anything. Nothing else popped up.
That could be why.
I was kind of disappointed. I was this would have been awesome.
I don't know. For me, this has been available forever on my PlayStation, and I never use it.
Yeah.
And now that it's available on the Xbox, I won't use it.
No, I won't either.
Because consoles are probably the worst way ever to navigate the internet. Ever. I can't even, if I purposely tried to make something worse to navigate the internet, I don't know if I can invent it.
You use the joysticks to move the actual cursor.
It's horrible.
It's not that. It's just even typing into websites. It takes forever without the chat pad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It was the entire interface was just bad. I had a better experience using the Opera web browser on the Wii than what I did on this.
You know what actually is really, really good as a what's supposed to be for video games, that browsing the web, is the Vita. The Vita is the one thing that actually is really good, because it virtually turns into a smartphone where you just have a keyboard and you just go like this, nuts, type .com, done, and you're on.
Did you just say you went to nuts.com?
No, you go nuts, and then you hit .com.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, literally, your console... What?
Sorry, I'm getting spoilers for Walking Dead.
No. You tell them to shut up.
Turn your phone off.
Yeah,
I can't.
Here, let me slam it.
I need it to do the news.
Yeah, tell people stop fucking talking about what the hell's happening.
We'll take the hit for right now, so you don't lose Walking Dead. We'll just make up questions. No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, yeah, literally, consoles are made for internet browsing. It's this, their next step into making it an all-in-one kind of thing, but it's not needed.
That's the one thing you really don't need. I mean, everybody's got a smartphone nowadays. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah.
It was a different story in 2005 when these first came out.
Yeah.
It really was, especially for kids that didn't have access to anything. Everybody's got a home PC. Everybody's got fucking internet. Everybody has smartphones.
Yeah. That's usually your computer's within 30 feet of where you're at anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, computer I could see is kind of being a pain in the ass. You have to go boot it up, especially if it wasn't just sleeping. Takes a while, then you have to go to the internet, then you have to type it in, you have to get up.
You have it on all the time.
Everybody has a fucking smartphone in their pocket.
Yeah,
it's way faster. So
I'm going to keep on with the Xbox news. This is more sexy news for them. 70 million units are sold of the 360s. Also, with this report, was a increase of another 15% in gold this quarter.
Hey, that's a big milestone. Congratulations, Microsoft. I don't care if you like them or not. That's pretty fucking impressive.
It is impressive. There's not many systems that have gone past that.
Yeah,
they're not at the end of their life cycle yet.
It doesn't look as good when you hold it up to the 98 million Wiis, but when you take into account every console that has ever been for sale, the Xbox 360 is one of the top 5 now.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, top 5 excluding handhelds.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not their fault that 2 of the highest selling consoles ever came out in the same generation, so it doesn't look like it sold shit, but in comparison, it actually sold, that's a lot of units.
Yeah.
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 So congratulations to them.
Yeah. I'm also going to keep on with the consoles. The Wii dropped to $130, along with the Xbox dropping to $250 and $350, depending which model you want. Still $189 for the 4 gig. And now my question is, why hasn't Sony announced their price drop?
Well, I want to address that too, but I was wondering if you guys think that's enough. I think the Wii is still. Why would they drop it so little? They have a new console
Right around the corner.
First of all, who the fuck doesn't own a Wii?
Yeah.
Who's like who? Here's a better question, because it used to be what, $150 and now it's $130.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who was sitting there with the Wii at $150? That's like. It's still just a little too much, and now that it's $130, they're like, "Oh, that's it. Now I'm going to bite the bullet."
I believe it's coming in bundled with something else, though. Too.
Yes.
Where's that guy?
Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. So you have two of the same games.
Mm-hmm. But where's
that?
Weird. Okay, if I was Nintendo, I would have dropped it to $100. That makes an awful lot of sense.
Yeah.
I remember when the PS3 came out and they dropped the PS2 to $99. That thing was still flying off the shelves. Because even people who like. Maybe never wanted it and passed on it for 5 or 6 years. $100 you can justify as
a day's pay.
As an impulse buy. You could just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I kind of want to go back and play that 1 or 2 Marios I missed or the 1 or 2 Zeldas I missed. $100 isn't a big deal. I'll pick it up. $130 to me still sounds kind of.
They could have dropped it a little bit more.
And these are the non-backward compatible systems.
They
also,
are,
correct?
Which is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox. That was cool what they did. They don't have a new console launching in 3 weeks, so to me, I don't feel like they needed to go too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But what I felt they did was they're lining themselves up for the Wii U launch really nicely, because now they're going to be cheaper than the Wii U with 50 times the storage, literally. Hundreds and hundreds more games in their gaming catalog.
It's true.
And with Xbox Smart Glass launching. When's Windows 8 coming out? It's the same day, the 28th?
Yeah, it's
23rd.
Coming month.
23rd.
Yeah.
23rd?
Yeah, because Apple has a press conference the same day.
So with Microsoft launching Smart Glass the 23rd, if you're on the fence, I mean, you look at the Xbox is kind of the better deal right now versus the Wii U. You know what I mean?
Supposedly it is only for the holidays, though.
Why
it's
would
not a permanent price drop.
Why would it, though? Because the Wii U would be out after that.
Understandable. I'm just...
I know. I mean,
I've read.
If it goes back up in price, 2 months after the Wii U comes out, that's just, there's no point then. That's when you do maybe another drop. I don't know.
Now, with Sony, I don't think they need to. It's really far ahead of... I think they will for holidays, like they do every year. They did it last year, too, remember? Mm-hmm. I just don't think they felt the need to announce anything yet because they just put out that new model.
Yeah.
So I don't think they want to be like, here's this new model. Oh, 2 weeks later,
shit. Way too much shit now.
Well, yeah, they should have done the price drop when they announced the new model.
They should have.
Yeah. But I think they'll get away with it a little bit later. Plus, they got a lot of tie-ins coming, which I think is why those kind of act as price drops in their own way, even though they're not technically a price drop because it's for the same price. And they'll throw in a few games, and they'll give you a couple months of PlayStation Plus, some digital downloads, so on and so forth. So it's like a de facto fucking price drop.
My question is, though, is as you just stated, you feel that Microsoft is doing it to counter Nintendo.
That's the only reason they did it.
So why wouldn't Sony do it also, being that out of the three, they're the lowest selling unit?
The PlayStation 3 is doing really, really well still, every month. What's failing is their Vita. So I think that they're
clearly Microsoft's still doing very well.
Microsoft's doing even better.
But they're at least, gonna try to take a chunk out of Nintendo.
I believe the price drops were either announced on the same day or Xbox actually may have beat it by 1 day.
No, Xbox
was
came
it the
out.
same
Xbox
day?
came out after.
You sure?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the Wii announced it, and the next day Microsoft's like, "Oh, you're dropping it? We'll drop our shit too."
Because I actually worked the day a price dropped at GameStop.
It was leaked a day early for Microsoft. It wasn't announced until Monday. But it was leaked on Sunday, which is when Nintendo announced theirs.
Because we redid the pricing for it on Saturday.
Okay.
So Xbox was on sale on Saturday last week. Because I had to do it. And the Wii did not price change at GameStop until at least the next day. I didn't even see an article about it until the next day.
Fucking A. No, I think Sony. I think they will before,
No, I think
before
they
the
will.
holidays. I don't think there's any rush to drop it in September. There's no like.
Yeah, no,
Or,
I assumed
October,
they had
excuse me.
something coming in for like a Black Friday kind of thing for that.
Well, I mean,
last
they're
month.
big things. They got these Assassin's Creed 3 bundles coming out at the end of October, and like they can't just be like they're already throwing in a free game with what their console already costs, and they just upgraded the hard drive, so they can't be giving you a bigger hard drive, throw in a brand new $60 game, a new model, and price cut all at one time. It's just too much to
Do it now.
I just don't think they have to.
All right. Well, there's that. I have another sexy news story. I'm not sure if this is rumor or confirmed yet, but it's been around for about a year or two. The Hitman HD collection is going to be coming out in November, I believe.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's going to be Codename 47, which is what I was playing with it. Hitman 2, Silent Assassin. They're skipping 3 because 3 was done by a different company. It's never included in any collections. And then Blood Money. So, and it's going to be $30, I believe. So,
That's actually a really cool deal.
yeah. So, there you go.
Nice. I don't know if you have it on a side story, but there was another collection announced.
Which one?
The Walking Dead collection.
Oh, the bundle.
The collector's edition. The only cool aspect of it, obviously, you're paying $70 for 5 chapters of a game, which should, in what theory, cost you $25. But they're including the first 48 issues of the comic book, so it's the first half of the entire comic book. Me being somebody who's read them but doesn't own them, I may actually buy it. And I'll give away the game and keep the comic books.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal then.
It is.
50 comic book or 48 comic books for $50 is a really good fucking deal.
I know those collections, like the hardbound,
$20 a piece, and they're
25,
usually
so-
about 10 issues, and they're $20 a piece.
Yeah, so that's a good price.
I also heard that it's ridiculously limited quantities.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's available for pre-order yet, but if you do have any interest, I'd make up your mind quick.
You better let me know tomorrow.
If you want, I'll just throw $5 on it for you. Just get it for you.
That'd be 25.
I think I already owe you $10 for
No, you'll-
years.
no.
Well, I owe you 5, and Angry Andy over in Berlin owns you 5.
Yeah.
So I have one
Where's my
last
pizza?
sexy story.
I wanted to cut you off before we get to that because that's a bigger one. Yeah.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Because we were talking, because I kind of brought it up. I was wondering what you guys thought about Smart Glass because I was just recently reminded through actually IGN that's
Still coming.
Yeah. That's launching the day Windows 8 is launching. Now, it's not getting iOS and Android support until like 6 months later down the line, but it's launching alongside Windows 8.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what you guys thought because I haven't heard
It's going to take 6 months to actually get good games to have some kind of support for it.
what I'm pretty sure they're going to do is push it on every first-party game.
Yeah, I mean, Halo's going to have it.
They're going to do it like what they
Yeah.
do with Kinect. Like, hey, if you want to be a Microsoft Studios game, you have to slap some kind of Smart Glass
Yeah.
support on it. But I mean, they're not announcing it. They're not
really
pushing it. They're not advertising
the
it.
Surface itself, the tablet that they're rolling out at the end of the month, like right around the same time.
It's the 28th, I believe.
Then that's the day
Nobody's-
that Xbox Smart Glass launches. Launches with the Surface.
Nobody's
Yeah, that's
gotten
20th.
any hands-on time with this thing. Even people that are doing like reviews, they haven't really been able to touch it. So I mean, they haven't really promoted it that much. They did their big announcement a month
their
ago,
commercial, yeah.
and that was kind of it. That's all.
For the Surface?
The Surface
as
has
far
the
as
commercial.
The
Yeah.
Surface is having a huge silent ad campaign.
well, they've got one for during the Walking Dead premiere. They had a huge.
No, I'm
ad
not even talking on
campaign,
TV.
too.
I'm talking about on the web. Go on any website, you'll see a Surface corner ad. Like it's everywhere.
Sure,
on the
I'm
internet.
just saying. Like, I mean, at least hands-on, the Surface itself and Smart Glass both don't have a lot of hands-on time so far.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried about how both of them are going to work.
I think Smart Glass might be cool one day, but it's going to take a long time. It's like I'm not going to go buy a Windows 8 device just for Smart Glass. I have an
Windows
Android.
7 devices were bad enough.
Yeah, I have an
had
Android.
them.
Even if it's cool, I don't care. I'm locked into Android now. I'm not going anywhere.
I'd stick with Android, wait for the support to come.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I got
too.
the Android phone, I got the Android tablet. I'm not going to go buy a fucking Windows 8 anything just to play with Smart Glass. So I won't even know what this is like for 6 months down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's probably going to be shoddy at best because then it's going to take a few patches to get it running right. right?
Yeah.
And that's if any games even support the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
if you're just gonna be first party, then it's gonna suck. Vita to the PS3, it's the same thing, sort of.
Yeah,
with the games like that.
Like for third-party developers and stuff, what's the drive? Unless Microsoft's paying them, say you're making Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Okay? You're EA, and you're Danger Close, and you're making it for the Wii U, the Xbox, and the PS3. Why the fuck do you have to take the time? Because they're not making any money. Xbox Smart Glass can be a free app.
Yeah.
So why would they take the time to sit there and develop?
They need an incentive for that.
And then is Microsoft going to dish out money to every single publisher to actually make it worth their while?
Doubtful.
That's why I don't think this is going to be a big deal. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
No, it's a good point to bring up. So same thing with like the Wii Motion Plus, same thing.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. No developers picked it up. It's kind of a useless device almost at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Completely off topic, but it did pop in my head, and you didn't mention it on your round on what we've been playing on our round table. I do have to ask: did you try the Forza Horizon demo?
I did.
And
I can't tell a lot about it.
okay.
I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm getting the game.
My cousin downloaded it on my system today, so I have yet to try it.
I have it downloaded as well. I haven't got to it.
It's Forza, man.
It got good reviews actually. I think it was like an 8.5 from GameSpot, which is around the range.
Yeah, got a bunch of 9.0s.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about the same range as a Forza game.
Cool. So again, sorry it was
No.
but I
No,
just
it's good.
popped into my
No,
head.
that's all good. Actually, if we're talking about demos, I downloaded the Medal of Honor one as well. That was actually a fucking blast. I had a really good time with that.
Is that Tuesday also?
Yeah,
They're both coming out the same day.
Nice.
yeah, that'll be a fun day to work. And Justin Bieber's in town as well. So I'll have Medal of Honor people and maybe Justin Bieber in my store tomorrow.
Sweet.
Or Tuesday.
Really?
Sweet.
Yep.
Hopefully he won't vomit on you.
gonna
He
suck.
actually he won't come in, but his producer, his slave,
bitch.
his bitch came into the store, and I forget what he bought like last year or the year before that, but he was on a Tuesday again. He did come to his slave bitch guy, gave him the sword and bought something. He was like, I'm with Justin Bieber, and we really didn't care.
Can I have a discount? No, I hate your music. Die.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My last story I was going to bring up, the Wii U had a few kind of issues come up this week. Number one being the the limited chat capability, is what it sounded like.
Oh my god, this is a mess.
And the second one is Activision came out and said they will probably... I don't want to botch it too bad. It was basically we probably may not actually do the maps for Wii U. And right now there is no Call of Duty Elite. And they said they actually had to rewrite the statement saying on the season pass it says content may not be available for all systems. So that's a big, hit.
As the weeks are going on, the Wii U, like more and more, like nothing good is coming up. It's just bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this chat is a mess.
Do you know much about it?
I know all there is to
please.
know. Okay. What happened is Nintendo's actually not even making its own headset. So it's all getting pushed out to third-party developers. The only way that they could make it work because of a design flaw is you have to plug it in to the tablet. That's the only thing, because there is Bluetooth connectivity through the Wii, but they can't make it pick it up yet. They might be able to through a firmware update later, but who knows. So right now, they have to be wired. There's no option for wireless, and it has to plug into the actual tablet. So say you're playing Call of Duty. You're going to use that Xbox controller clone.
Yeah.
So you have to play with that while having the Wii U tablet next to you with a wired mic into it, so the Wii U tablet can actually talk to the Wii U hardware.
It's not fun.
There's no party chat at all. No cross-game chat, no nothing. You have to
That is
be
something
in the
you
same
needed.
game. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
You
dude,
needed that. That's Nintendo. You did mess up with that. That's Sony's flaw. Then they learned from it. They tried for months to get that
as
fixed.
soon as they had an option with new hardware with the Vita, they implemented it
Yeah,
right away. The
right
PS4, there's no way they're going to do it again.
No.
You know what I mean? Nintendo
No.
had 6
That's
more years
your-
of looking at what to do, and they still fucked it up.
They still took a step backwards on their new system coming out. You're not.
From what it sounds
Best
like
it
to
could
me, it's even worse chat than PS3. PS3's already a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And this sounds like it's even less technologically advanced than the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Also, 99% of games aren't going to support it.
Is it because it's not?
There's just no. Nintendo feels there's no point. So unless it's like a multiplayer, like Call of Duty will have it.
Yeah, but no one else really.
Why throw it? Because if there's no party chat, why have like Mario have it, or why have like Rayman have it?
Yeah,
there's no point. There's no online multiplayer for it. So it's like, I think the only two games that are talking about it right now are Zombie U and Call of Duty.
Okay.
And they got 40 games at launch, so 2 out of 40, whatever that math works out to.
Yeah.
Maybe not 99%, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I do. It's a big miss. It really is. Really, when you heard Sony saying how they really wanted that, and then Nintendo just apparently didn't even think about it until last second, sounds like.
It's like I said, man. It's like more and more it's coming up, and fucking the tablet doesn't even multi-touch. Are you kidding? No multi-touch? That's like basic. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
There's free smartphones that they give away just for signing a contract that have multi-touch.
This is true.
Your tablet supposedly costs $150 to make, and it doesn't have multi-touch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think, Jason?
I'm watching the Forza Horizon demo.
I actually was too, a little bit. We have Angry Andy from Berlin who's live streaming us, and we're live streaming him. And he's actually heard us, and he actually started playing the demo for us.
Yeah, he got a little agitated during the opening video that he couldn't skip the cutscene.
Yeah, I saw that. It was just a cutscene. I was like,
violently pressing buttons.
I didn't like how much traffic there was.
That's what it is. Well, you're driving two races.
I knew that. It was just like, I don't know. Anyway, so that wraps up my sexy stories, unless you have something else to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, the Wii U's pretty much fucked at this point. Still buying it.
It's still gonna have sales, but the things that core gamers are looking for, they're missing right now.
Pikmin just got pushed back.
Yeah, 2013. I love the Pikmin. So
it's gonna sell a shitload. I talked about this on our Wii U one was a couple weeks ago, but like as the days are going, I want it less and less. And this didn't help them at all.
Yeah, I can understand that. Bad press. All right, so I'm gonna do the David Letterman thing, and we can move on.
Throw the paper.
Throw the paper.
It went back.
Literally went right in my lap.
Love it.
It wants to stay today. I'm gonna keep it. Dave Letterman is shaking his head at me somewhere. I'm sorry, Dave.
All right, so we're jumping right into the questions for the week.
Gmail.
Before we do that, we have one that we want to touch base on.
Yes.
Sava?
Yes.
He replied to our news story for one of our news stories last week involving Call of Duty. Tony's got some information here that he wants to bring up.
Yeah. We actually have a correction from last week, and I'm having... Okay.
See what happens when I'm not here? Tony just gives out info like nobody's business.
Well, I was trying to cover Mark's end. Okay, so here's what happened. We were talking about that Modern Warfare 2 story that you guys probably remember the map that had to do with the Muslim writing on the wall, right? And I was actually incorrect because I didn't play that game very much. So I was going off the site that I read on. But he cleared a lot of it up for us. So I can actually read his... I can read what he put to help us out to further clarify the story from last week. So there's a correction as well as an explanation on the part that me and Jason didn't understand because neither one of us are Muslims. So
or Call of Duty player.
Well, we didn't really
no,
understand.
Just the way you worded it.
We didn't understand what was offensive.
Yeah.
Last week. So okay, so he has a quick correction on the podcast regarding the Call of Duty map and the quote from the Quran. Then he actually posted the video that shows it on our wall, and then he said that you don't actually have to stand in one spot and zoom through a window to see it. You could actually just walk into that bathroom. See, I thought you had to stand and look through a window. Mm-hmm. So the quote. Okay, so they basically used sacred texts to decorate bathrooms, and that's the part me and Jason didn't understand because I forgot what it roughly translated to. Something like Allah is good.
God is good, essentially. It wasn't even anything like the actual text itself wasn't anything offensive.
And which is why we didn't understand why it was upsetting anyone.
Yeah,
but
I guess it was found.
It was the placement of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was by the bathroom that people were saying it was used to decorate bathrooms, which that now I understand. Okay, so he has... this would be similar to putting the Lord's Prayer or other sacred quotes from various faith traditions as random decorations in bars, bathrooms, nightclubs, or other places where they would never actually appear. I don't think there was an artistic intent on behalf of the developers doing this. I think they just had no idea what they were using to decorate the bathrooms, which I agree with, because if I was making the Call of Duty maps, I would have had no idea what I was writing on the wall either, and I wouldn't have got that, because like we alluded to, we didn't know last week, we didn't know what the hell was the issue. This actually makes a lot of sense now. I could see why this was upsetting people. And thanks for writing in and helping us out on that. What's up?
Really quick, on a very odd side note, they're currently filming the Wolverine over in Japan, and they're building like a fake set, like a street, and some of the Japanese text that the American studio is putting up is wrong. So it's a trend that happens quite a bit when you have Western developers and movie studios and things like that try to position things.
Yeah.
You know, we make fun of English all the time, and we're guilty of the same thing a lot.
You know, this also brings up the point of if you remember when Little Big Planet 1 came out.
We talked about this last week,
Yeah, okay, I was saying they got pulled from stores because they had a song in there that was talking. I completely forgot because it's been a few years, but you
had it pulled up last week, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was, they pulled that and they had to redo it. So
anyway, sorry for the confusion from last week, and thanks once again, Sava, for helping us clarify everything. I hope that makes a little bit more sense to everybody. So
sweet. All right, so we're jumping right in here. Epic Beast asked, "What is your least favorite game on the PlayStation 1 and why?"
Least favorite?
Least favorite. That's what you told me?
Least favorite?
Least favorite. Is it your favorite?
Let's move on to another question while I double check that one.
We'll come back to that one. Well, you know what?
Do you want to do the least one and the best one?
We could do that.
Least and most favorite?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well, fuck.
Sadly, this is totally leaving me out because I actually never had a PS1. I was on the Sega.
Oh shit! It is
crew.
least. It is least.
It is least. Okay, all right. I was on the Sega crew with my Dreamcast, so I skipped the PS1 and went to the PS2 directly. So I don't have anything really to add. I can say what I was playing around the same time period. That's probably about it. But you can go on with yours. If anyone's got it right off the top of their head.
Man, how did you not play the PS1? That was awesome.
Sonic.
I had the Dreamcast. You don't have to sell me on it. I fucking had both of them.
My best friend had a Dreamcast. I'm like, well, I'm going to get this one. He never got a PS1, so I didn't
Okay, well, we'll come back to you, but you know what? Least favorite Dreamcast game because it's in the same generation. Okay.
Yeah.
You got one, sir?
That fishing game.
No.
Bass Fit. Okay, for me, PS1. I'll do my favorite PS1 game, Gran Turismo 2. By far and away, I poured so many goddamn hours. It's when Gran Turismo actually knew how to make a good game. 3 was the last truly great one. 4 was okay. 5's atrocious, so on and so forth. But Gran Turismo 2 is almost the pinnacle of racers. There were so many great games on the PS1. It was like the last generation for actually decent JRPGs.
So what's your least favorite?
I'm thinking.
Okay, I've got mine.
Go ahead.
It's really, really easy. Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Okay, it's basically when they tried to take Twisted Metal and make it into a kid-friendly game. And they were driving RC cars on like tabletops and crap like that, and it was stupid. It was really bad. It's something that should never have happened. You shouldn't take a franchise like Twisted Metal and try to appeal to the mass.
Yeah,
it should never happen, ever.
Man, the PS1 was so awesome. Crash Bandicoot series was fucking great. The original Medal of Honor when they finally brought that was such like a genre-defining game.
I don't mean
the first.
Angry Andy's here, and he's got it paused in a section of Forza, and apparently he's racing against me.
No,
it's showing me with my gamer tag. He's on his account, showing me on my gamer tag. See, there's clarifying that it's him, and he's racing me.
Yeah,
but I didn't play it.
So,
but how's he racing me?
It just goes off your friends list, dude.
I guess.
So is it actually making up?
So you didn't play like. Oh, you don't play Call of Duty at all, do you?
No.
Because Black Ops, they do that in zombie mode.
I play.
There's an enemy that comes after you, one of the bosses in Black Ops zombie mode, and it's actually somebody off one of the people who's playing's friends list. So sometimes your buddy's coming after you as the monster.
Nice. Walking Dead social game does that, and actually will send a message to you. I'm sure you've gotten a couple from me that I killed you.
So why are you so confused?
Because
you have seen this before.
Well, I've saw it in a Facebook social game.
Because Facebook gets original ideas. They steal them shit.
No, you're missing the point. It's okay. Moving on. You got your least?
I was still talking about games I like.
Okay, well, that's not the question.
So other games I like. It was Crash Bandicoot. I loved the Medal of Honor. And ones I did not like. That I'm thinking. I loved Pong, too. That fucking shit was great when they remade that. I don't know least favorite.
I'm actually going through it right now because I'm just like, I really thought back. I'm just like, I like almost all the ones I have right now.
That's the thing, too. I have nothing but great, fond memories of that system.
I do, too.
I don't remember, like when you try to go back and play them now...
They probably all suck.
They're very, very bad because I mean, you go try to play like a Dino Crisis or something like that. That was awesome at the time. I think it's just hard to control them now.
Frogger sucked.
I don't know if I ever played that on PS1.
Yeah.
But even like walking, because like I'm just so used to like dual directional joysticks at this point that going back to like a D-pad and having to push up to walk straight is like ridiculously confusing to me at this point. It just
I don't get
this. Yeah, it doesn't mesh with me at all. And I don't know. I have no idea. I'll come back to me. Let's move on to the next question. I'll try to answer it better later. I really don't know. I have nothing but fond memories from PS1.
I'm the exact same way. I'm looking to see like something I didn't like, and just it's hard because I kept all the ones I do.
Good luck here. Andrew Dillon asked, "What is your least favorite story in a video game, and why?"
Least favorite story. Shit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think I found out my least favorite Dreamcast game, Sonic Shuffle. I don't know if anyone played it.
The fuck is that?
If I remember correctly, it was kind of like a Mario Party for Sonic, and I don't think it meshed very well. Like, I never bought it. I played it once at a friend's house, and we never went back to it. So I'm going off of like one memory from so long ago. That's like the only, like, it's one of the few ones that I'm looking online because I'm like, I don't remember what I didn't like. I guess I'd probably do about it.
I don't even know what the fuck. Did you just make that up?
No.
Is there a picture?
Yeah, there is. So we can go back to the website. All right, but we're going with worst story.
Yeah. Worst story. I really, really hated the end of L.A. Noire. The ending completely ruined the entire game for me. That and Skyward Sword. Don't like it.
Can you do Skyward Sword?
No. The whole high school thing. Bully stole my fucking bird or whatever it was. It was stupid. Stupid. So there's my... I don't have a problem picking on things.
I think it's probably not my least favorite ever. It's just the one that's sticking out to me in recent memory is Lollipop Chainsaw. That shit was just bad.
Now, is it the story or the game?
Everything about it. There was not one good thing that I could take away from that game.
Did you get the achievement for looking up her skirt?
No. I tried to avoid it because I didn't want to screw up my... I wanted...
You want 0 achievements?
Yeah, so that I could delete the gaming history. Because I played like 20 minutes of it. It's such
Dynasty
a bad
Warriors.
fucking game. It's probably not the worst...
Such a bad game that I thoroughly enjoyed.
It's like I said, it's probably not the worst story ever by any stretch. It's just the one that in my head is popping up that is the worst.
You can pick any of the recent Final Fantasy games as worst story
very
because
good call, yeah.
I don't understand what the fuck is going on with them. And I know like Resident Evil has gotten real far out there with their stories, but like Final Fantasy takes the cake. Okay. 10 was it for me. Like, dude was a ghost and shit. Come on now. Yeah.
Then fucking what? Another one that popped into my head was the Vita Killzone, or excuse me, Vita Resistance. It was a competent shooter, worked really, really well. It just the story was fucking horrendous. It made no sense. It didn't draw you into the character at all. You didn't even, then there was like these one or two like really, really crappy attempts at trying to like make you feel for the character that just didn't work at all. It was a good shooter. It was fun to play, but they shouldn't have forsaken the Resistance label by slapping on that game. They should have just called it like the Every Shooter or Man vs. Aliens and had that been the end of it, and it would have been a fine game. You know what I mean? But they just ruined the Resistance by putting it on there.
Yeah. I actually was going to say I don't know if anyone played Hydrophobia.
The Xbox Live title?
Yeah.
No.
I like this story. Just I didn't give like it wasn't interesting. Like the voice acting got me out of it as well. That one in recent memory was pretty bad story wise. Gameplay wise was alright, but then you got to the story and then you figured out it just wasn't worth it sometimes.
Fucking A, man.
Fable 3. Because we like picking on that one.
Yeah, people do.
It's not a good game.
All right, so that I'm not a complete asshole, go ahead and pronounce your friend's name, sir.
Thomas Knightsey.
Okay. He asked, have you heard about the controversy surrounding DayZ?
Warzy.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
They're both same crap.
Too much Z's.
Too many Z's.
Yeah.
Basically, it's good. They're trying to be like the one that's better than DayZ, so there's
We are the
similarities.
one.
I do know about it, thanks to you, actually, but I'm going to give it to you right now, actually.
Yeah, give it to us good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sexy
Slap
stuff.
it on the forehead.
This ain't sexy, it's dirty now.
Dirty, all right. Them dirty
Dirty
stories.
emails. That sounds even worse.
Yeah, that's something that companies would not like hearing.
It's something that Tony does in his free time. Dick pics, dirty emails.
It's he sends you an email with like a text file. I'm gonna be late and says like, stay up late.
Sorry,
babe.
I'm cleaning up my room.
Free cake, click inside.
But what happened is, those terms of use, little things that you always accept to, but you're supposed to read because bad things can happen, and you might be the next Apple iPad.
I sent a pad.
I sent a pad. Yeah, that's what it was. If you watched South Park, but basically, I'm
getting your head summoned in fucking Human Centipede. I didn't even watch South Park. I know
you know it, yeah. Basically,
here it comes.
Oh God, it's gonna be a big one.
which one should I eat?
Asparagus?
I think you'd dig that show if you watched it. It's just
I watched the first 2 seasons.
It was
back
nothing.
in like '96.
Yeah, it was.
They
nothing
got
back
better
then.
middle of the road. They're all right now, but they've had better ones. But
Anyways,
the story as for the 2 people who actually read the terms of agreement. Sorry, that's basically true.
is that the 2 people that are in beta?
They actually have 100,000 people in beta. Fun fact on that
Yeah,
one.
I'm in beta and I haven't played it.
Yeah, so the 2 people signed up. They just gave them out. Like, hey, this guy's email address from Pornhub.com. Let's get him in here.
You don't need an email from Pornhub. It's free. They just need your phone number and your credit card. Premium. Brazzers.
Brazzers.
How am I supposed to report on this? Okay, the 2 people who actually read the terms of use were going through it, and they noticed something. In one of the lines, it actually said League of Legends. So apparently what happened is they copy-pasted the terms of use from Riot's game League of Legends, did like a control find, to see where's Riot and put in your company name, and apparently they missed one. So they basically are stealing their terms of use. I mean, I've never read through any of them. I mean, I'm probably going to be the next iCentipad, but I thought all of them are mostly the same, but Riot has not really said if what they're doing about it. They're just kind of like...
So you're fucking dumb.
Like literally this week, all of a sudden they came out with 3 other random announcements. Like
just driving into a tree over and over.
But literally they come out with 3 other announcements saying we're gonna do LAN gaming for the next one. So they're not even touching on it for the most part that I've seen. And basically there's other problems with it where the game's supposed to be done. From what I hear,
They wanted a December release for it.
And basically, and that's what they've been telling people, and from what I hear, it's not even close to that, and they're just telling people, yeah, I'll be out soon, and I guess it's in a extremely unpolished state right now. It's playable, but it's not good in what they told you it would be. They're missing things, basically. But then that terms of service thing, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if there's fun...
Fez.
Sorry.
Now we're going to get angry emails.
Yeah, so there's that. But that's the story you had asked me to explain.
First off...
After Brazzers and everything else got done.
Brazzers! Well... First off, who the fuck wastes time reading that shit?
I don't know.
Okay.
The lawyer somewhere.
Yeah, I guess. And second, like, then who's got time to then exit out of the game and go and bitch online about it?
Yeah, because those things never come back out. You accept them once and you don't see them
exactly. So, like, who's like, oh, wait, no.
He saw the South Park episode and he probably reads every single one of them now.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, Riot's not going to come out and say anything because these guys, like, they ripped off their shit. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I guess.
I guess, it's like, whatever. The game's in beta. Maybe it was a placeholder. Who knows?
It's not, like, they're not making money off of it
currently,
at least.
It's like, okay, you got caught. Just fix it. Be done with it.
Yeah.
But,
so there's that.
Tony, do you give two fucks?
No, not even a little bit.
All right, moving on.
But I remember a bad PS1 game with a little help. I told you I'd come back to it. Batman and Robin was a licensed movie video game.
Those are always good.
Controlled terribly. The visuals were bad. It was broken. Wasn't very fun. I remember that one went right back to Funkoland.
Funkoland.
Right back.
The two hands coming out of the TVs.
I took it home and turned the car around. Well, turned my mom's. Well, Ma, bring me back to the store. This game sucks. She's more or less what happened.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
They actually give you your money back.
Funkoland?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have a 7-day, hey, this game sucks return policy.
Oh, for new as well?
No, pre-owned.
Oh,
They
okay,
didn't sell-
you
they
pre-owned.
didn't sell
Okay,
the
yeah.
games.
Okay.
There is a second part to Thomas's question.
Go for it.
He says he wants to know what Mark thinks of Faster Than Light. You touched base on it, said that you played it.
Yeah, I actually stayed up really, really late yesterday playing it because I got addicted. Literally, it's kind of like a... I don't want to say it's a sim because it's really not. It's like a space management. Like you're like the story is you have this document you have to get back to like your fleet, and you start off with like 3 characters. There's like 9 different ships you can have. You unlock them through playing it.
Is this the game that you 90% of the time you always die in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you die a lot.
I read a
kind
really
of
cool
unforgiving
article
sometimes.
on it, yeah.
And literally, I've gotten to the last. I'm playing it on easy the first few times. I went to normal, and I got to like the last level, and then these ships come up, and there's just nothing you can do because like your systems, like they basically knock out my weapons. I can't fire back, so they just keep shooting at me when I'm trying to repair. People start dying. I'm dead in like a minute or two. It's really it's like dying makes it fun. Like, I don't know really how to explain it very much better than that. Because, like, even when you die, you're just like, I got outmatched kind of thing. It's $10. I wish I had a demo because it's not a game for everyone, I would have to say. Mm-hmm. But literally, it's fun. Like, it's an old style, like, it's like an old school XCOM game. Like, the good ones. And basically, you just manage your space. You have
until people come in and fuck you up.
The boarding parties are probably the hardest part of the game to deal with.
Yeah, I read an article on it, and it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, it's done very well.
They were talking about actually porting it over to mobile and stuff.
Yes.
So that should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna wait and check it out once it comes out.
That is actually one of the games that was on Kickstarter. It got a crap ton more money than needed. It's made by 2 people only. They got completely funded, like triple funded or something, and they put it out, and it's really good, being a lot of money from it, so...
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Look up some videos on it. You might like it.
Yeah, well, it's
unique. It's different.
That's the questions for the week.
Email.
I'm getting the tournament pulled up now.
Tourney.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we did this because fucking no Mark last week. All Mark's fault.
I know.
Mark ruins everything.
I know.
Do we need a refresher?
I should be good.
Or do
for
we
a
want to
while,
wait until the end?
No, I think we're good. We've only done like...
We've only done like 18 of them.
Yeah? Okay.
Nah.
Who was in the last one for Heroes?
It was
Mario vs. Luigi, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably don't remember.
Spyro versus Spyro Lost. Who the fuck did he face off here?
That was 2 weeks ago.
That's when we played it. That's when we did it. We didn't do it
No,
last
I meant
week.
like two times.
3 weeks ago.
Sorry.
Last
All
week
right, moving on.
Yeah, apparently we don't really remember.
All right,
written down
and I
somewhere.
apologize that I didn't get to post these up this week. Like I said before, we recorded until like 2 a.m. on the blacklist, and I kind of slept in. So,
You
It
people.
happens.
yeah, shit happens. Tony kept me up late. All right.
He's good at that.
That's what I do.
So we'll call this Mystery Round.
Mystery Round!
To make up for my fuck up. Really quick, before we get into it.
Okay.
We did do one last week. We did a little side, battle royal here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could fire it off really quick. We did Borderlands 1 characters versus Borderlands 2 characters. Who would you pick? Pairing up, Zero against Mordecai, Brick versus Salvador, the two siren chicks.
I'd have to give it to Zero. His ability, I think, is just way better.
Okay.
It gives you, if you spec for it, it gives you where to shoot for a critical hit every time. The Bloodwing, when you spec that up, was ridiculously overpowered, though, which also makes it hard. But I have to say, with the stealth element with it, I'd have to give it to Zero in that regard.
Okay.
Let's see. I have not played the Sirens yet. I actually didn't really play the Siren in the first one either, though. That one I'd have to say is a toss-up.
Okay.
And then we have Brick versus
Salvador,
yeah. I'd have to give it to Salvador on that one. Okay. Just because of the double guns.
Okay. And then you've got Roland versus Axton.
Mm-hmm.
That one's so close.
So far, you're 3 for 3 with me.
I'm gonna have to see the abilities Axton has are better though, but the turret is essentially the same. It matters how you spec. I think this one is probably the closest one because of how similar they are. I'd have to give it to Axton.
We went 3 for 4. I went with Roland.
I know it was hard. It was just because when I was thinking about the, you can have the double turrets and you can stick them to walls and shit. That's the only reason
I don't even remember who I picked. So, all right. Hero bracket. We've got Ezio versus Ryu from Street Fighter.
Oh, man.
Anybody want to start?
Ezio. Final answer.
Okay.
No, let's see. Of Ezio, as far as we've really seen, the first best assassin, I think he's better than Altair, in my opinion.
So I think that's why we picked him.
Yeah, he's also had more games.
That might be why, too.
Yeah, he's a badass with a sword.
See,
hold right trigger and you win.
I think... I think Ezio's the bigger badass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any disputing that, okay? But the way I've been doing this tournament from the very beginning, at least in my head, and I thought that's the way we're doing it, is if they're both standing in front of each other, about to face off, who's going to win?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about it.
And Ryu has projectiles.
This is true.
I don't even think Ezio would be able to get in to even get his blades out. If it was if it's like Ryu just hanging out in the fruit market, buying some stuff with his girlfriend, and Ezio coming and who can sit on the bench over there and listen into my conversation and sneak up and assassinate me?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Ezio. But if they're both aware of the other one's presence and they're looking at each other, about to face off, and there's none of that other bullshit, I gotta give it to Ryu.
See, Ezio has a gun and a crossbow.
A very
throwing knife.
A very crappy gun.
The gun actually got way better in the last two.
See, now for me, all right,
it was useful.
I'm kind of split here, and I may need a little help being swayed because I don't care for Assassin's Creed much, but I'm looking at trying to compare Ezio's abilities to somebody in the Street Fighter universe per se to kind of in my mind match him up a little bit better. And the best I can come up with would probably be Vega. Okay, and Vega's pretty comparable to Ryu in a fight per se. Because Ezio does have agility, he does have some weapons and things like that. So. I'm waiting for somebody to kind of really pull me in one way or another.
Ezio got put into fighting games before.
Yeah, he's a Soul Calibur?
Yeah, he's a very good in close.
Yeah, he's really
fighter.
fast.
Ryu's really good from a distance. Fighting games, how they're designed. Yeah. Some people are good from in close, some are good from in far, some are a little bit of both, some are ranged attacks, some are
have the gun or the crossbow in Soul Calibur, though, too. You could shoot from
worthless.
Range. Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure damage-wise it was doing, but I just know he does have range if he needs to. I personally use the crossbow more than anything in Assassin's Creed, actually, so...
Yeah, I use the self-blades. I use those for everything. They're constantly equipped for me, so...
And I got lost in the desert riding on a horse, so I don't use anything. So I'm going with Ryu.
All right, I'm going to lose this, but I'm going with Ezio.
Hold on, I want to talk about this a little bit more, because... Okay. I really do think Ezio is, like I said, I think he's the better character. And I don't know.
Like, Ryu's fireball's not going to knock you out in one shot.
I just don't think Ezio can even get in.
Jump or
I think I'm like looking at this a little differently. That's why I still disagree with the one from last week with Gladys, or from 2 weeks ago. I don't think she can physically do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she has to use her environment.
I think you're being a little too strict with it and a little too hard on yourself and everybody else, and you should just pick with which one you want to go with. I want Ryu because I don't like Ezio.
I like Ezio better.
Epic beard.
I like Ezio a lot better. I actually enjoy Ezio. He's a really cool character.
Listen,
he's a cool
Dom
guy.
had a beard too, and he was a bitch.
Man, wasn't that a beard?
The man makes the beard does not make the man. What the fuck? He flipped the car.
You know what? I'm going to go with Ezio.
Ooh. I see that one coming, actually.
All right.
You thinking a solo fight?
I don't think either one of them is going to go very far. Cause
I don't think so either.
I think both of them get their ass kicked as soon as they get in a couple more rounds. But Ezio's just too... Ezio would be cooler if he was a little bit more advanced tech. Mm-hmm. All his shit, like, sure, he's got guns, but they're like 16th century guns.
Yeah, no rifling.
Assassin's Creed can pretend they're powerful guns. Guns sucked back in the 1600s.
Yeah, they didn't rifle their guns, meaning they had no accuracy. You'd be...
If you hit the person,
feet.
the projectiles were coming so slowly, they rarely actually killed someone. They more just stopped them in their tracks. It's just... I
guess that would work, though, in this kind of fight. But,
yeah. I don't think either one's going very far.
The only reason I think he kind of wins this is he does have the agility still to, possibly dodge the fireballs and stuff. But, yeah.
Okay.
What we got next?
Villains brackets.
Villains.
We've got
Tony bracket.
Albert Wesker from Resident Evil.
Guy's a bastard.
Versus Psychro from
Earthworm Jim. Cool.
I need more explanation on the Earthworms.
I'll take Psychro.
Because I'm a young bastard.
Who takes... Are you taking...
I can do Wesker. Yeah, go ahead and kick off with Psychro.
Psychro.
He's older.
He's the main villain.
These guys are old, by the way.
He's the main villain from the Assassin's... wow, I still got Ezio on the brain.
Excuse me. If he was in Assassin's Creed, wouldn't he? I might play it then.
He's from the Earthworm Jim series. He's quite literally a big crow. Because birds eat worms, and Earthworm Jim's a fucking earthworm. He's actually pretty badass. He flies. He can go on outer space. He's got a spacesuit. He's got a lot of guns.
Ooh.
He's pretty hardcore.
Badass crow.
Yeah, he's crazy, which is why he's Psychro. Instead of Psycho, it's a play on words. You get it? You get it? They're clever.
The cleverest thing back in 1982.
Those guys in Shiny Entertainment. Hold on, it was like 95.
I know.
Sweet. So Albert Wesker was the captain of the STARS team from Resident Evil 1. 15-year-old spoiler, if you didn't figure it out. He is also one of the main bad guys in Resident Evil, who was supposedly killed in the first one.
Damn it.
And
the fifth one.
Faked his own death. Injected himself with various different viruses. We started with the T virus. He did some other ones, though. Did some shrooms and whatnot.
Steroids.
Superhuman strength, speed. He can stop a rocket.
Yeah.
Okay, like literally catch a rocket.
Catches it. Bastard.
And if you want to count it as an ability, he has clones.
He's been in 2 games, right?
Like 4.
Yeah, he's been in one of that.
Yeah. And he's also a fucking genius. He was actually one of the scientists. He worked with William Birkin on the development of the T virus. I
think they reveal there's hints to that in 5 in some of the logs.
If you go back and you play through 1, or I'm sorry, 0, which not a lot of people did, but there's a lot of like him and Birkin sitting watching what's going on and commenting on it. He's let's see, he was in 1. He was in Code Veronica. That's when you kind of found out he had these superpowers. Mm-hmm. And then he went apeshit in 5.
Okay.
Did he skip all the other ones?
Well, I mean, that was like the main ones.
He wasn't in like the other games.
I don't think he was. You were able to access some of his shit in 2.
Okay.
I don't think he was. Was he in 3?
I just remember.
I don't remember.
I just remember him from 1 and 5, dude.
Because Birkin was kind of the guy in 2 and 3.
I didn't even remember Code Veronica. I just remembered 1 and 5.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he was only in 2.
Yeah, he was in Code Veronica. He was a big part of Code Veronica. They don't bring him up in 4 that I can recall. At least maybe like they might mention him, but they don't. They don't.
So he's in 3.
Yeah, he's in 3 out of the 6 games,
including.
I don't know if we want to spoil.
Is
If I can ask for confirmation, is he in 6? Yeah, we knew the son thing. That's no big spoiler.
So he's
they bring him up in by name again. Okay, so he's not really in it. Is he in Mercenaries? No.
To me, this is a really weird one because 1's kind of serious and it's more infections and viruses on Earth. The other one's like a space creature, like cartoony, goofy around, but literally in outer space. Like,
I think they'd team up.
They're both.
Yeah,
probably would. They're both 0 for the century. One's 0 for 3 in video games. The other one's 0 for 2. Neither of them win very much.
First victory of the year.
Well,
versus another loser.
Technically, like Wesker's won in 2 out of the 3 games. He got what he wanted out of 1 and out of Code Veronica.
Technically, Psycho never loses. Technically, because he keeps coming back, he never gets defeated.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like
he gets temporarily derailed.
In 1 and in Veronica, Wesker has achieved both of his goals that he set out in those games, and that was usually to steal some strain of the virus and to kill somebody.
That bastard.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
He's also got fucking like red Terminator eyes with some cool sunglasses, and then he got a Neo jacket.
Yeah.
Did I mention he can catch rockets?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was annoying. I didn't know I had to shoot the rocket after that either.
Psycho's got spacesuits.
Yeah.
Fly all over the
Wesker's kind of got a spacesuit.
Okay. Let's vote. I'm going to go first. I really don't know. I'm quite torn on this one. This is the closest, because usually I already know who I think's going to win. This is the closest I've ever been, and I'm being completely honest. I'm going to go with Psycho solely for the fact that I'm a bigger Earthworm Jim fan than a Resident Evil fan. But I really do think this one's neck and neck.
I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Okay.
You'll be the deciding factor. I'm gonna go with Albert Wesker because in newer generation video game characters, he really stands out as the epitome of a true villain. He covers all aspects of it. He fucks with people's minds. He's great at plot twists and everything like that. And not to mention, he's like almost like godly in his ability. And the fact that he can actually be defeated by mere people, means that he can be outsmarted and everything. But he I don't know. I really dug him. In general, regardless of the course of the Resident Evil games, I've always appreciated him as a villain and as kind of like the puppet master pulling the strings.
Okay.
All right, decides with me. I really liked Psycho after Tony actually explained it to me. But then you gotta remember Wesker's superhuman and like the speed, the rockets. I sadly had to give it to him just because I think it does give him the edge. Even with what you made right there, those are really good points. With Wesker is like, think of villains, top 5. He'll probably be in.
Yeah, I think and again, I'm not hitching my wagon to him, but I think he's going to be one that's going to kind of carry through the tournament. A little bit, not all the way, but I think he'll advance quite far in here.
Fucking A.
All right, so Albert Wesker.
That's our pick so far. Hope you don't hate any of them. We got
as always. We still got the one more.
We got the one more.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We got the fun one now.
Oh man!
All right, and I apologize because I am not a Final Fantasy fan. We're going into the sidekick bracket now. It's Cat Sith, I think. CAIT. Catit or whatever. It's that fucking thing in Final Fantasy that's not a chocobo.
We should put the chocobo. I know what a chocobo is.
It's a fucking chicken.
If we're
gonna put a chocobo in, we gotta put, what do they call them in Zelda? A clucko or whatever.
A
Kukuro. Kukuro.
Is that it?
I think so. But anyways,
that thing is cute though, chocobo, and then the name. I love it just because of the name.
He's facing off against Dom Santiago from Gears of War as a sidekick.
Does this even really need us to devil into it?
Does anybody have any arguing points for this fucking cat thing?
No.
I mean, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan.
I mean, Dom can't jump.
Can the cat?
Probably.
That's it. I'm just saying. That's
Doesn't the
like,
cat
how do you
like
spell
ride
it?
It's CAIT
CAIT.
and then Sith. Just like Star Wars.
like
Maybe he's a Sith. If he's a Sith, he might be kind of badass.
Messed up the series.
So yeah,
by
force
accident.
push.
Let's
Go
see.
ahead and tell us a little bit about Dom really quick while you're waiting.
he can't jump. He's way more badass. He's got an entire arsenal of guns. Grenade. I know what it is. It's
Okay.
just what the hell's he gonna
Exactly.
do?
He's got that fat guy.
Like what the
I
hell?
think
He's
my-
got Snorlax under him.
It's like a boomer.
Yeah, Dom's got a fucking chainsaw on his fucking gun.
God, that'd
It
be
might get
brutal.
stuck in that flubber, and then the cat can scratch him in the face. I don't know. It talks.
There we
It's
go.
a talking cat.
In battle. So it evolved, huh?
Read us straight
Cats-
off of Wikipedia.
Yeah, Cat's stats are generally lower than most of the characters.
Even Wikipedia's making fun of him.
although
Jesus.
his high magic stats makes him useful for mage.
Whatever that means.
That means he throws shit at you.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
His weapon of choice is a megaphone.
So he's a LARPer.
he's gonna talk. He's gonna talk very loudly to Dom. That's what you're saying.
And Dom's just gonna be
Stop
like,
it!
"Sup,
Stop
bitches?"
chainsawing that.
What is that fat thing that he rides on? Does it tell you?
That's a chocobo.
It's not a chocobo.
I know it's not.
I'm ready to vote.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Dom.
Yeah.
Okay,
done.
Okay, Dom, unanimously.
Yeah.
I know a couple of you guys are Final Fantasy fans out there. If you guys got a compelling argument against that,
like if Snorlax is like an absolute badass and Snorlax is just gonna flatten as like a pancake.
Yeah, maybe he's like...
maybe he can morph into Maria and trick Dom for a second while
And it's like
this fucking...
and he just pushes him off a bridge or
I don't know,
something.
he could talk shit to him
Something
through the
on awesome
megaphone.
cars,
He's like,
something.
you shot your wife in the face.
Remember how ugly she was before you killed her?
You gotta do...
Ew, dude. Ew.
Or he could seduce him and then turn into the guy. It's like, you're gay, dude.
You
And
totally
then Dom just runs away crying.
You totally didn't
Marcus!
I need help.
You totally didn't fuck that hot chick that wanted to bang you in Gears 3. Sam. She totally wanted this cock. Anyways, yes. It's true.
She wanted it all up in there.
Yeah, I read the books. She totally wanted him.
I'm fucking losing now.
Heath Miller just scored a touchdown for me.
Whoa, don't
What?
put that by there.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it. All
I
right.
don't like it. It gave me feedback.
Well, all right. Either way, I'm only down 8 points with 2 players to play in fantasy.
All right, so that's the tournament for the week. Since
Yeah,
I don't know shit about football.
Yeah. So
Fucking A.
it updates me.
Hey, look, he's fighting a Burmok.
Brumok! Get that Brumok out of Resident Evil. Always fire in the rockets!
I've got a pussy for a mouth.
That's what happens when we don't sleep a lot. I'm on 4 hours of sleep as well. Jason's probably not much better.
No, not really.
Okay, so
Tony's phone's dying.
my phone's dying. Whatever.
He's fucked.
I need it for the thingy thing.
There's no topic of the week this week.
Okay,
It's Tony's
so,
phone died.
so it's all about the doo-doo-boo-doo. Doo-doo-boo-doo-boo-doo. Tony's
Topic.
of the That's a little switch hitting for me. Mark.
You didn't do your girly go.
God, that's awful.
Okay, so this is why I didn't want to go too into it during the what the hell did I
Six
play
innings.
this week? Because I wanted because this week we're doing a James Bond special.
Ba-dum-bum.
Boom.
Ba-dum-bum. I was hoping Jason would just kind of like, finish it off.
I'm watching this Burmok.
Watching live feeds. How
Yeah.
dare you?
So
I'm
since,
sure how much interested
so-
I am in
since
James
I'm the only one
Bond.
that played,
What can you tell us about Jimmy Bond?
old Jimmy,
So you got to make sausages?
old JB, good old JB. Okay, since I'm the only one that played Legends, yeah.
Yeah, not
Okay.
yet.
First, I wanted to kind of revert back to what I should have did earlier in the show, but I decided to save it for now. I will let you guys know all about 007's Legends. Then we'll get into the bullet points.
Okay.
Rock on?
Rock on.
Okay, so 007's Legends. As anyone who has been checking out on the reviews may have seen, it has not been faring very well. It's been getting anywhere from like 4s to 7s.
Yeah, it's a good range for it.
So I disagree with a lot of those scores. What?
Shitty camera angle in Resident Evil 6. I haven't even played it yet, and this game looks like garbage.
Yeah. Nice.
Sorry.
Okay.
Racing
So
outside.
yeah. So the game is losing a lot of points because really, really hardcore James Bond fans seem to be the ones that were requesting to review this game, and a few things are upsetting them, and I feel, because I've read through the reviews, they're docking way too many points for minuscule stuff.
Such as?
Well, there's discrepancies. The whole premise behind this game was supposed to be they took 5 of the what they felt were the bigger movies throughout the James Bond series, and that made up the campaign. The campaign is, okay, it starts off as the trailer from Skyfall. I don't know if anybody's seen it, where there's this chick who's actually sniping James Bond, fist fighting this other dude on top of a train that's on a bridge. She shoots, and I don't know whose side she's on because the trailer doesn't explain it too well. I don't know if she misses and accidentally hits Bond, or she's the enemy and hits Bond because that was what she was trying to do. He falls off the train, falls down like a 200 or 300. What?
He's confirming something for you.
One of the reviews I watched it was she missed the bad guy and hit Bond.
Okay, so she missed the bad guy and hit Bond. Okay, rock on. So he falls down like a 200-300 feet into a lake or a river or what have you. Okay,
Good thing for a soft landing.
so as soon as he hits the water, he goes unconscious and actually starts flashing back to some of his finer moments throughout his career. So the movie actually takes place like parallel to Skyfall, but he goes back and like reminisces about the cool shit he's done back in the day. Okay.
American Marvel.
That was one of the first big things that they got mad about. Because soon as Daniel Craig took over the place as Bond, the whole series was supposed to get rebooted. So everything he's done before that point was never to have happened.
Okay.
So that already pissed everybody off.
Is that the way it's supposed to be for every new Bond? I've never gotten that.
No.
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 Okay, no, yeah, go on. I'm just wondering.
So basically, let's say every game starts at a 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a 10 out of 10. Just because they didn't apply they didn't stay with that the story was supposed to restart and none of that stuff from Goldfinger or Thunderball was supposed to have happened. They already docked 2 points. That game's at like an 8 out of 10
yeah.
before it does anything.
Yeah.
Okay? You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to bring up 2 or 3 other things. And this is how they got to a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then, it's so fucked up, though. Because, like, I don't see... Sure, it's, like, loosely based, and it's kind of weird. And I agree that it is a gripe, but people got to understand, this isn't...
It's not game-breaking.
It's not Ian Fleming's, like, Bond. It's just a video game. Mm. You know what I mean? How else were they supposed to tie in? The whole point of this game was to celebrate the 50-year culmination, because it's the 50-year anniversary of James Bond this year. It's supposed to celebrate the 50-year culmination of the series as a whole. And the best way to do that is to showcase highlights throughout the course of its 50-year history. And sure, it's a little spotty, and how else were you going to put together 50 years of history without it being, like... I think, it's passable. It's not the greatest idea ever, of course. I mean, but whatever. Okay, the game actually runs off the Call of Duty engine.
As it did last time.
Yeah. So mechanically, it's amazing. We give the Call of Duty series a lot of shit, but as far as first-person shooter goes, it really is the cream of the crop.
Yeah, it's standard.
The engine's really good. There's not very many frame rate issues. Everything runs really smoothly. The gunplay is amazing. All that, so on and so forth. So it feels just like a Call of Duty game, but with different shit going on in the background. Okay? Because of that, they knocked down another 2 points.
Because it wasn't Call of Duty?
No, because they said that it's like Call of Duty. It's running off the Call of Duty engine.
What you mean, yeah.
The thing that they wanted to see a lot more of was like the stealth aspect. Because James Bond...
GoldenEye Reloaded did that quite well.
Yeah, it's the same guys.
Same engine too.
Yeah, they wanted James Bond to do a lot of stealth, which he does do a lot of throughout the course of all his movies. But he also runs in and guns a lot too, and people seem to forget that.
Yeah.
So just for those 2 things, they're already at like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just because it felt like too much like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And because of a little weird stray in the story. Now, all right, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, like with that. The interesting parts of Bond are the action scenes,
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna obviously do more like, I mean, I personally like stealth games, so I would have loved to see kind of like a both.
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
The stealth scenes weren't very good, I can admit that.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
But-
it's hard to do in first person anyway. But from what I've heard, because I've read a few reviews as well, it's not like how it was in GoldenEye. Or GoldenEye was actually pretty easy to do stealth, which was good. So you can go on with your next bullet point.
It was weird because like when there were some stealth areas that they wanted to do to take somebody out, and you couldn't move the body. That was a big gripe.
Okay.
Okay. This is the last point that I feel that they knocked another couple points off with. I do agree to some extent, but people made way too much of it. And that was the QuickTime events, the way that you actually beat the bosses throughout the game. They were a little bit too similar to one another, and they were a little cookie cutterish. Like the first one or two, you're like, "Oh, this is really badass," but there's 5 bosses, and after you do it the 4th and 5th time, you're kind of like, "All right, this is getting fucking lame."
Rinse and repeat.
I do agree with that. The boss scenes could have been a lot better, but I mean, those were the 3 major gripes, and all of a sudden, the game's a 4 out of 10. And that's to me what it felt like, because the game was a lot of fun. I had a blast playing it. Sure, they strayed from the story, and they did it quite often, like in Goldfinger. Some of the lines were a little out of order and stuff, but you have to make the game adapt to a game. You can't just replay the movie, because else
Yeah.
just go watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing like the book adaptions to movies kind of thing.
It has to change slightly to make it fit the new medium for him.
Yeah.
And, was it the best Bond game ever? Hell no. There's been a lot better Bond games. Was it a lot of fun? I had a fucking blast playing it. There's this the last level is fucking so much fun. It's actually the most fun I've had in a level in video gaming in a really long time. It takes place in Moonraker, one of the earlier movies, and gravity, because you're on a spaceship, gravity just goes away. So you're literally floating, you're doing anti-grav a whole fucking level, just floating around on jetpacks and jump. It's fucking so much fun.
Those are the funnest parts of the Dead Space series, was just the zero grav things. I know what you mean.
And people are okay, what was it a 10 out of 10? Hell no. I'm not trying to say that, okay? What I'm saying is these reviews are way too hard on this game. It's a solid 7 out of 10.
I was going to say, from what you say, maybe around a 7.
It's a good game. It's a very competent shooter. Everything works. There's nothing wrong with the gunplay or the shooting. There's no inaccurate hit markers or anything like that. It works. It's a fun, good shooter. It's a really well done shooter. It's got some stupid story flaws, sure, and some of the boss battles could have been a little bit better, and you take some points away for that. Fine.
Yeah.
6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10.
it's
It's got to be somewhere in that range. People are being way too overly critical with this game, because I think that they had it in their head that they were expecting the fucking world. But I mean,
Bond games haven't been like that for a while.
yeah, Bond games don't really do that, dude. They are their own thing. They're not.
I've heard another kind of like a thing that people docked it for was like there's not enough gadget use. Like, Bond games, there's always some kind of high-tech thing, and then you don't really get to use or at least see any of them.
That was another big thing that people were upset about, was because he has 3 main gadgets. He has a watch, like he did back in the day. He's got a smartphone, which does tons of shit. So you only look at it as one device, but it actually does do a lot of things.
He's got a bunch of apps on it.
Yeah. And then he's got a dart gun. And I actually forgot about this argument earlier, is people were mad. Because, you're going through Goldfinger, which took place in 1963, I think. And people are like, why the fuck does he have a smartphone in GoldenEye? Yeah, okay, but it wasn't Daniel Craig in GoldenEye either, because they can't exactly get the right...
Yeah.
They
should have had the massive brain cancer phone.
It was like an uphill fucking battle. What were they going to do? You can't get the rights... You can't just have
do another
fucking
phone
Sean
for each one.
Yeah, you can't pay Sean Connery this amount, and that wouldn't be fun, going back to 1960s technology in a game, and then jump into the 70s and the 80s, and kind of going through with all the different characters. You think you wanted that, because to reviewers, you'd think you'd want to stay that closely to the movies, but I don't think you would have. Like you said, I don't think you wanted that 1980s brick phone, from here to here, that's half the size of your head, to sit there and call headquarters back in London. That wouldn't have been cool.
Because then you feel limited, I would have to say.
There's also an issue with that, though, too. Is that if they would have done something along those lines, then okay, so then what, James Bond's 80?
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, and these are the things that people can't, agree on, so everybody's just 4 out of 10.
So that's the story, because it always looks like Daniel Craig, correct?
People, Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so-
another thing that upset
But then,
because
did they
Daniel
ever
Craig is
say-
doing Sean Connery's scenes. He's doing.
Does it ever say like the year anywhere or anything? Okay. I mean,
It's like a parallel universe where Daniel Craig
Is
experienced all these things himself.
yeah. Which I mean, Bond has always there. It's
Well, the common excuse is that like James Bond's a code name. Like
Yeah,
00
yeah,
okay, 007's a number. So like when one retires, this isn't like official or anything. It's just like an internet
Yeah,
way to
I get
explain it. Like, okay, so when 007 retires,
they don't retire his number.
yeah, there's like a 1 through 10. That's like Britain's like 001, 002. Those are like Britain's top 10
Damn,
agents. or whatever.
006.
Okay? And when 007 retires or gets killed in line of duty or what have you, the next guy that comes out
Yeah.
of spy school gets, and he's the top ranking whatever.
He's
he
like,
becomes the
yeah.
new 007, code name James Bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't give his real name. And that's one of the ways that they've explained how this is to stretch the course of 50
They
years
don't
without.
have to explain it though. It's like saying you have to explain how Bruce Wayne is still Batman.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this isn't official at all. This didn't come from Ian
but
Fleming.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like the
Yeah.
fact that people have to go to that extremes. It's like, come on, people. Really, you're talking about a fictional fucking character,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Well,
It's also how they
know-
explain how Q and M have changed as well, because Q and M are
yeah,
code names as
same
well.
kinda- that makes sense.
You know what I
It
mean?
really
Where
does.
one M retires,
Yeah.
the new person comes in and they're still M.
Yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
got a great revelation for you. Get this, right? Is that the guy that Sam Jackson plays in the Avengers?
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his name? Jesus Christ. Anyways, he wasn't black
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, he was a white guy with gray hair. You're not going to have the same people. You have to evolve. You know what? I'm sorry, and I'm not a James Bond fan, and I haven't really played much of the video games, so you won't hear me chime in. But I'm at least going to argue on your behalf a little bit here. It's like, you know what, people? First off, fuck Sean Connery, okay? Because he's a dick.
Hello, Sean.
I do too, but you know what? I'm not a James Bond fan, but for him to come out and like talk shit about it now,
I don't think he did.
he did.
What did he say?
That's why he's refusing to go to the fucking anniversary big event where they had all the fucking James
What happened? I
Bonds.
didn't hear about any of this.
They wouldn't pay. They're not going to pay me enough. They fucked me over on the movies. They didn't pay me my royalties and blah blah blah. It's like fuck you, Sean Connery.
I had no idea
I'm
that
sure
happened.
he has enough money at this
I'm
point.
sure exactly. That's my point.
I didn't know any of that happened. I was unaware
Yeah.
of any of that.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, there you go.
God damn it.
I was also going to say, since you brought up the Avengers reference, Green Lantern has been black
He's been a
and
fucking
white.
alien.
And he's, that.
And now he's gay.
Yeah, I mean, he's been everything you could possibly think of for the most part throughout the comic series. He was black in some of them, some of them he was white. He's played by what actor currently? I don't remember.
Fuck Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, there you go.
The point is, when something goes like cool things like this that people get super into are far going to exceed the lifespan of one guy. Okay?
Exactly.
Even if they extended Sean Connery's thing, Sean Connery to this day, yes, he's still alive. He could have been Bond in every single Bond movie. It's not going to be believable watching this 80-year-old guy run through and kicking ass and all this gun.
Lots of makeup.
You have to move on. When you create a character that's that cool and that lovable and so many and it gets legions of fans, there's just no way. That's why they were trying to. They did a terrible fucking job, but that's how they were trying to pass on the torch in Indiana Jones 4. Like Harrison Ford, they were trying to have him there, and they thought people would like Shia LaBeouf, and then maybe he can make us, Harrison Ford can make a smaller cameo in Indiana Jones 5, and the torch could have passed, and he could have made another 3 or 4 with Shia LaBeouf. It blew up in his fucking face, but they tried.
Yeah.
And
Shia already had his 10 minutes.
James Bond has had missteps too. There's been guys like Dalton, which I don't think was a terrible Bond, but he only did it twice. Or
Don't look at me.
I'm asking you guys. Yeah,
It's less.
My girlfriend's
There's also
dad
the
needs to
one
be
guy
here.
who did only
he
one.
did one. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's been missteps where they tried hiring a guy, they thought he would do a good job. They filmed the movie and they're like, this didn't work out, and then they cut him loose and they went on to somebody else.
Yeah.
I hate to tell everyone, it's a big fucking 50-year-old spoiler, but it's not the same guy in the fucking Godzilla suit either.
Yeah, take that.
Okay? That's a 50-year-old fucking series too.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, you got it.
Even
To
kind of
be
the
a fan, you have to give the series some leeway. You have to, because it's impossible for it to all make sense.
Let me ask you this, okay? Because I'm a big person when it comes to comic books and things like that about sticking into continuity, okay? Did the game stick into continuity for the most part? I understand, like you said, they didn't go back to the 1960s, and that might have, but did the story stick to, like, did the events still play out how they were supposed to?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Because, like I said, they had to be adapted to a video game. Like there's
I mean, I get
the
that,
way
but I mean,
the way
just like in general, like the heart was there that they were following.
Yeah, I mean, so it was cool because like some of the most iconic cutscenes, that's what they were in the game because they'd be hard to play out. Some of the most iconic memories from the James Bond series were played out very well in cutscenes. I mean, you had James Bond strapped to that laser thing in GoldenEye. Or Goldfinger, excuse me.
Yeah, Goldfinger.
And, the laser's like working his way up from his feet and it's about to cut his dick. And he's sitting there screaming or talking with Goldfinger. And he's like, do you expect me to talk? And he's like, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. And they played it out perfectly. Or like when he met Pussy Galore. And,
Pussy?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Pussy Galore.
I don't care
about but see, there was also things that they did screw up because that's just the way a video game has to be. Because, like, okay, the way what the fuck am I thinking of? The fifth act when he's in space, like I was talking about earlier. Okay, the way that particular movie ends is he's in a spaceship. He blows up the space station, and it just kind of like
launches him.
Yeah, and he gets back to a shuttle and then gets back to Earth like that. Okay, the way that game ended, it was not like that at all. Because in the game, you had to have a fight scene with the boss. You couldn't just explode a spaceship.
It's like, hey, push a button for that.
It did stray from the story, but how
it's stuck within the continuity of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, then shut the fuck up, people.
But that's like I'm saying. I can see why people were getting upset, but to like, because to me, 4 is unplayable. That's a broken, unplayable game.
Once you get that, you're like 5.
Lollipop Chainsaw got higher reviews.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, this was like a coherent game. It was a functioning game that worked well and played. There was nothing broken. You didn't hit like invisible walls and shit like that. It was a good game. Okay, people took the story and knocked off 6 points.
Was it worth the $60? What would your price point for it be?
I think it's a good $40 game.
Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, my girlfriend's father is just like you, a huge James Bond fan. I have the game pre-ordered for him. I plan on picking it up for him. Okay, and if anybody's gonna bitch about it, and I'm gonna trust his review, it'll be him. Okay, he plays the Call of Duties, so he's gonna be very familiar with the controls. Okay, and he's also a huge James Bond fan. So I will get his honest opinion. I will follow up with you on this when he plays it.
It's like I said, I bet he will have several issues with it. I
bet you he won't.
I have issues with it. Like I said, I think the boss scenes got repetitive. They did stray from the story here and there, but
sometimes you have to.
That's what I'm doing. I'm defending it because I mean, this isn't you just watching a movie. If you wanted to see the movie again, just watch the fucking movie.
Yeah.
But for you to be able to play through it, they have to adjust it slightly. Because or else you'd just be watching a goddamn cutscene. You have to put action into some of these iconic scenes. And that's why I'm justifying that they strayed from the story a little. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll give you a great comparison if I can, for something that I can agree on, compare it against, okay? Is just recently DC Direct released The Dark Knight Returns, an animated movie based on Frank Miller's 1989 comic book. Okay, 2 big points stand out to me in that. And one is that Kevin Conroy doesn't do the voice of Batman, because to me that's who's always Batman. Okay, they had Peter Wellings, better known as RoboCop, do the voice of him, which was good. Also, too, one of the big points in the comic book is Batman has kind of an inner monologue with himself. He kind of narrates the story as it goes through. You do not get that in the comic book. But in a sense, though, sometimes you can't follow it 100%. It doesn't work in that medium. In a comic book, to have narration from the main character is understandable. In a movie, it might throw people off.
That'd be weird.
It would be.
That's like, is he talking to everybody?
That's exactly what I'm trying to point out. It's just, there was no way. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, there's inaccuracies. Yes, all this stuff does happen. But, like, I don't see, like, maybe they could have did something a little different here or there to make it a little bit better. I agree, there is flaws. It is not a perfect game by any means. I don't even think it's the best Bond game of this particular generation, and there's only been 3 others, okay? But to give it, like, that, I don't know.
Wait, what are the other ones?
Bloodstone, Quantum of Solace, and...
Yeah, okay. I forgot about Bloodstone.
And GoldenEye Reloaded.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think there's anything... I don't believe, personally, that the perfect game exists.
No,
I disagree. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I said it many times.
Yeah.
My favorite game of all time is Uncharted 2. There's plenty of shit I can
and I can't
point out about that
stand
game.
how people review games. I like the way that we've discussed it months and months ago when we were talking about doing reviews on our website. Is we weren't going to use a numbered system per se. We were going to go. Is it worth $60? Put a monetary value.
Yeah, we were gonna use $1.
Yeah,
so, like if we thought something sucked, we were gonna say this is a $5 game.
And we've kind of done that a little bit here. You know, you said it's a solid.
I think this is a $45 game. That's what I think it is. If you wait for this to go on sale in a couple weeks, which I'm sure it will, this is a great $40 buy. It really is. Guys.
For those people that can't really do the figuring in their head, that means for you it's about an 8 to an 8.5.
Okay, I think it's a little lower than that, but yeah, I would give this game a 7 out of 10.
Okay, but I mean, it's average. There's no reason not to play it, other than people on the internet bitching like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
The internet.
So everyone
thinks they're a journalist.
That's what I think about 007's Legends. Yeah, it's got problems. Yeah, it was not without flaws, but to say it wasn't even like a competent shooter, 4's broken to me. Like
it is. It's on the side of I should never even try this 4.
Yeah. That's to me what
5
4
is
says.
Basically that, but maybe a 6 is I might pick it up when it's really cheap.
Yeah,
which is kind of like a 6 to a 7 is basically a game I won't buy right away. I'll look and do it later.
I mean, to me, 4 screams broken everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
that part
no
of that
redeeming
is
qualities.
A 5 should be average.
Mm-hmm.
A 5 should be the average.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how it should work for me.
A lot of reviewers, because they have a 5 out of 10, 10 out of 5, 5 out of 10 system, and it'll say average. But then some of them, a 5 out of 10 will be bad.
Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Poor or whatever.
Yeah, poor, yeah.
IGN, I think 7 is average.
Yeah.
The way their scale works.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's weird. It really is because...
You have more room for failure than
to succeed.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
But IGN, I think, because I listen to a lot of their casts and stuff, I think the way that they explain that they do their reviews is they start right in the middle. They assume every game is average, and then it either loses points or gain points, depending on what it does.
We also don't get paid.
Yeah.
We actually spend our money to play video games.
Mm-hmm. And like I
don't.
I even fully admitted this, I think, last week, too. I kind of go into James Bond games with blinders on because I expect to have a good time, and I always fucking do. So maybe I'm just the asshole who's just so happy that a new James Bond game came out.
No.
And it was fun to me.
This is your podcast. Screw everyone else.
But I'm just saying, exactly.
Don't apologize
I'm
for
not
your opinion.
apologizing. I'm just saying, I don't fucking care. I had a good time. And at the end of the day, that's what a video game is. It's supposed to be fun. And I had a blast with it. I don't think it's like a campaign that I'm going to play through 100 more times.
You ruined it. You ended on a really good quote. It should have been there. Now you're dragging it up.
I'm
just saying.
Still trying.
You
trying to finish.
You had a moment right there.
He's
you
always
had a
trying to
fucking
finish.
moment.
A moment.
You had a moment.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to finish now.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Just like your Saturday nights.
All right, so let's move on to some bullet points, and then we'll just try to wrap this up. I talked way longer than I thought I was going to.
That's cool.
Okay. How about you, gentlemen? I know you haven't played many. I think you've played quite a few, though,
Yeah,
right?
I've played quite a few.
All-time favorite James Bond game?
Oh, man. Nostalgia me would say GoldenEye on N64. Me, who went back to play it and found out how really bad it was. I actually really did like World Ends With You. Is that what it is? No, that's a DS game. World's...
World Not Enough?
Yeah.
It's the blue game.
Yeah, it was the blue one.
Yeah.
That one was really good. I'd have to say, because of the gadgets and what felt like a James Bond game to me, Agent Under Fire. I'll tell you that one.
I was actually going to say Agent Under Fire and Nightfire were my two favorite. Agent Under Fire had some of the best multiplayer that any game has ever had. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. The creativity that went into those fucking maps and the way that you were able to fight each other is still unmatched to this day. That shit was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've played two. I've played GoldenEye and I played the racing one. I like GoldenEye better.
Is that a racing one?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
So there was a James Bond racing game.
I don't doubt it.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Let me try to find the name of it.
That sounds
Okay.
crazy.
Well, go ahead and you know.
I have not done recent ones. Like I picked up GoldenEye, and then I looked. I guess Quantum of Solace and Bloodstone are still on my list. Bloodstone because it's Splinter Cell Conviction. In a nutshell, like literally, that's what it is.
Bloodstone was really good.
Yeah, and that's why because they've been switching engines all the
there it
time. So it's like, what is it called?
007 Racing, PS1.
What the hell?
There you go.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing?
Because I believe it played like Spy Hunter, if I'm right, if I'm remembering.
The Quantum Solace was a really good story. The problem is if you try to pop it in nowadays, that came out right when the 360 and shit came out. It just looks last gen. It really does. The story's really, really good, actually. Treyarch made that one.
Okay.
That was before they handed it over to Bizarre, who made Bloodstone, which is why I was hoping we were going to get Bloodstone 2, but Bizarre Creations went under. And now, who is it, Eurocom?
So that was that a Ubisoft company as well? They handed it off to them?
No, Activision has all the rights to...
Okay, well, just because they didn't use their engine, they used Ubisoft's, and just why I asked. Go on.
No, I was just saying that I actually really, really, really wanted Bloodstone 2. That was... Multiplayer sucked. I'm not trying to even pretend that...
Their multiplayer hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah. No, actually, Legends is really good.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of fun. But whatchamacallit, Bloodstone was not good. I'm not even trying to pretend that was even remotely fun. But the story was so fucking good. That's the game I wanted them to make. But then they remade Reloaded, and now they came out with Legends, and they're fine. They're fine installments of the series, but it's not what I've wanted since Bloodstone. I really, really wanted that game to have a sequel. That shit was fun. That's one of the
What
best.
did you like about that one so much?
The campaign. That was one of the what?
You
I'm not
thumping your
doing
foot. You were thumping your foot, no? Mike was picking it up.
It's one of the best campaigns that I've ever played in a 007 game, so I don't know.
I'll definitely have to. Like I said, I mean, I used to play them almost all the time. I'm very selective on them, I guess now. But
Yeah.
I did want to do Quantum Solace. Seems like it was a lot of platforming kind of thing. I saw somebody playing it.
No, Quantum Solace is like it did something that was really cool. It was like one of the first games that like let you switch between third and first person
Okay.
constantly. So it's actually a first and third person shooter. You kind of do whatever the hell you wanted in. Whereas Bloodstone was pretty much strictly a third person.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with Bond games is they have both.
Persons.
Yeah, both persons.
Perspectives.
Half the games are in first, and
That's
half,
not, he's wrong. He's wrong.
and half the games are in third. So it's really weird. But to kind of keep up, but I play both styles
Yeah.
so much that it doesn't really affect me. I actually tend to like the third person's a little bit better because
I do too.
I like seeing Bond, but
Me too.
whatever, it's still pretty cool. How about what's the worst one you ever played?
Worst one I ever played. Non-nostalgia for me would have to say GoldenEye. That's just because of the controller though. That's just the N64.
When you go back, that shit.
Yeah, that did not hold up at all. The controllers, you're like, how did I do this back in the day? Because I don't know how you controlled one thumbstick and then the stupid either the C.
The C button was like how to look. I can't even do it. It makes no
I
fucking
can't go back
sense.
and play it right now. So like literally, today's standards, that's the worst one that I think I've played. I'm trying to think other ones.
To me, it was Rogue Agent. As cool as it was, and
I like the idea with it.
I loved dual wielding. That shit was cool, and it was still a great game in its own right. It really was. I
liked it.
don't
Actually,
have many Bond games that I really didn't enjoy, but that's probably the one in recent memory. It was a PS2 title.
Yeah.
That's probably the one in recent memory that stood out as the worst because it seems like they were trying to go back to the 64 games, but didn't do a very good job. And I don't know. It was okay. It was like a little bit too much running around trying to find body armor as opposed to like just sitting out there and fighting. And some of the level design was a little weakened as well.
Yeah.
Still a good game.
There was one, they had like abandoned like building, not abandoned building, it was like a building built in progress, right? It was like being built. Because I remember that one, there was one part I got
like
really
a
stuck
construction
on.
site?
Yeah, like
What, Rogue Agent?
Yeah. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I got stuck on it for a long time. Literally, I actually, you know, I never really hate them either, so I'm gonna have to go with, I'm just gonna go with the GoldenEye N64. Like, it didn't hold up well at all for me. It's quite disappointing.
Okay. Well, we did touch on the bad reviews at great length, so I'm going to delete that. But because of these bad reviews, because Reloaded got decent reviews for the Wii, but it didn't get very good reviews on the Xbox and PS3, even though I thought it was an okay game.
Better reviews than those. Because they got like 9.5s on like the 360 boxes.
That's what I thought they got on the Wii.
No, that's the 360 ones.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
They got decently. They got like, you know.
Then don't mind me.
Yeah, that's just from what you might be right, but I've seen a few reviews. Like, I'm pretty sure the ones on PS3 and 360 have the better reviews. That's just because they're not using motion control. Oh, well, not motion control. The stupid classic. Yeah. Well, they had you'd use the classic. Yeah.
Support, yeah.
Yeah. And it just didn't work out very well. Yeah.
I was actually wondering if, like, because of all this, if either you felt Eurocom should step off, because they've only had 2 cracks at it, and one got whatever where they at least they had like blueprints to making Reloaded, whereas this was their first independent game, and it's getting such atrocious reviews that that's the other thing about like just this generation. There's been 3 different Bond developers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like the license gets like shuffled around so goddamn much. I think they should get rid of it. I don't think Eurocom is the guys for it.
You don't think so? No, even with
Legends was, to me, they're both mediocre. I think Reloaded was overrated, and I think Legends is underrated.
Okay.
I think they were both decent, competent shooters, and that was about the extent of it. But the last good one, like I said, like really, truly good one, was Bloodstone. And I actually really enjoyed Quantum of Solace, which I know a lot of people disagree with. But I think it's a good Bond game. Maybe it wasn't the greatest
game.
That game had problems. That game had control issues, camera issues, all that shit. But the story was really good, so I had fun playing it. But Bloodstone, I feel, is like the best one that's come out in a really long time. And unfortunately, Bizarre went under.
Yeah. Because
that was actually a British studio, and Bond's a British thing, and they actually understood what it meant to be Bond, whereas these other studios, I think, just they don't care that much.
Call of Duty clone it and then make it, throw in some of your own kind of ideas.
Make them say, I'm Bond, James. My name's Bond, James Bond. All of a sudden, it's a
Bond game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you on that as well. I really think they can find a high quality, developer, and they can actually make something of Bond. I mean, they keep coming out the games, like the franchise is definitely still there. There's still a audience for it. And I think they just have to find the right studio to do something awesome with it again.
Yep. Well, I don't know if you remember, the IP was owned by EA forever.
Yeah, because all the PS2 games were.
Then they got rid of it for
From Russia with Love?
For Activision. No, From Russia with Love was the last EA.
It was last. Okay, I can remember.
Then this generation they picked off with Activision.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to do a dual stemming EA versus Activision games, plus last gen versus this gen, which basically translates into the same argument.
Yeah. When you think about it, a lot of the PS2 ones, they just kind of, I don't want to say rehash, but they all felt the same, which was good. But now with Activision, they just like to use the Call of Duty engine, so now it's the same as, the other Bond game, but it's also the same as all the Call of Duty games and 50 other games because they all use that engine too. So it's overused feel.
I wish EA would have the licensing back. I think
the first time you'll say that probably.
Yeah, I think those games were better. I think last gen had better Bond games. This gen's only had 4, but last gen only had Nightfire, Agent Under Fire, From Russia with Love. Crap, why am I having a brain fart? Rogue Agent, and maybe it only had 4 as well.
It might have. I'm not familiar. I know the ones you've listed around there. I don't remember any other ones, though.
But I just think that was like a better pedigree of game was from EA. They were all a little bit different. They tended to go from first to third as well. But at least EA owned everything, and they kind of took care of the license a little bit better. I kind of agree that Activision's kind of whoring it out, and they're just...
Well, they hoard out the Call of Duty engine.
They're throwing the James Bond skin on top of other games.
Yeah. Which
I feel is kind of being detrimental to the series. It's kind of hurting.
They should make something themselves. Find somebody to do that. It'd be interesting to see what it looked like in the Unreal Engine, though.
Yeah. Sell to Epic. I'm sure Epic would do a good job with the James Bond series.
Yeah, probably.
Make it a third-person shooter. That's basically what Bloodstone did really well. It kind of was it took a lot of the principles from Gears of War. I mean, yeah, you could jump and stuff, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like the whole duck and cover and the whole shooting system was very, very taken from Gears of War, which is why I think I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
The shooting was excellent in it.
Like Splinter Cell, like I said. Yeah. Conviction, it is that engine, and the shooting's really good, the stealth, the jumping, like, everything about it is just really solid. Yeah. And it definitely works for a Bond game, I think, too.
Okay, aside from that, just wondering if anyone's looking forward to Skyfall besides me, because I'm looking super forward to it, the movie.
I'm looking forward to it. I usually end up going to see Bond films with my buddy Pat, who I don't know if I'm going to see with him, so I might end up coming with you, because I think he's off at college right now.
We'll do it right. We'll do it as a business write-off.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Jason, take care of that for us.
Yeah. Our accountant.
You're fucked. So
we're fucked come tax time.
What do you mean we're being audited? I thought you had this taken care of.
Right on Front Street. I'm going to embezzle all the money that doesn't exist.
Yes.
It exists.
We could hop into
as numbers. It exists.
We could hop into some final thoughts. That's really all I had to bring up.
One ice cream.
If you want to start off, because I'm sure you have the least to say.
I got nothing.
Man,
I'm not trying to again. It's just I'm like dumb when it comes to James Bond, and unfortunately, it's never really interested me. So rather than butcher this great topic, I'd rather, again, take no offense.
I'm not taking any offense. I sat out on your City of Heroes one. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Sure.
I've had those too.
Yeah. Sure.
Literally, find somebody to make a good Bond game. There's an audience, and literally, you just need those reviews, and then you get more sales from those reviews. So just make something to please people.
Yeah, I agree. I think the series is kind of in limbo right now, where they just keep putting out these decent games, and that's what it's been for a while. Where they kind of feed off people like me who are big fans of the series, and they know they'll go out and buy the shit they want.
Kind of like Sonic, I guess.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, these are at least quality games. Sonic was just pumping out garbage, but they're not as good as they can be. And for such a great, long-lasting IP, I agree. They should go out and get a far better developer, somebody who actually has talent.
Somebody has to have the money for it.
And somebody who could right the ship. There's a lot of people out there, especially first-person shooter fans, who have been dying for an amazing multiplayer experience like they remember from the 64 era. And multiplayer-wise, James Bond hasn't been able to deliver that in a really long time. So, what were you saying?
I was going to say, because we brought it up today, you should use the Sean Connery royalties, and you should put that towards a good Bond game.
That's what they should fucking do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if they go in and got a studio who actually cared, somebody who actually watched all the movies, perhaps read some of the books, and actually does know...
I'm sure they have some people like that, but for the majority of them, it's probably...
With Activision, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I really, really doubt it, that these guys fucking know what the hell's going on, because... That's another thing, is I know what Activision did. They probably... Why I feel that this game suffered in the few areas that it did was I know how Activision operates. They probably stormed this studio who's completely controlled by Activision, and they have no say in what they do because Activision bankrolls everything. And Activision comes in and they're like, hey, we got the license for James Bond. They got a new movie coming out in 6 months. Hurry up and put this game out so it can release side by side with the movie. You have 6 months.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah, it's
instead of giving a proper studio a full 2-year development cycle to make a great game the way that they want to make it in their image, somebody who actually goes out and wants to acquire the Bond licensing and actually wants to put the time and effort, the team wants to put the time and effort into making the great James Bond game, as opposed to, the parent company just slamming the fist down and being like, hey, you guys got to do this or we're pulling the funding.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel the last couple Bond games have.
They need time for
shown.
polish.
Yeah.
Polish is very important in a game, and if you don't have the time for it, things like 4 out of 10s can happen.
Yeah. So, aside from that, this has been episode 37. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
I'll be at the same place. Will we be at the same place?
Oh, I'll be at the same goddamn place.
You'll be here?
It's
a joke.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not anymore.
Bye, everybody.
Go to a strip club. Get some
Titties.
blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.